Good evening, Cinemaniacs. Let me make some noise. Let me hear you say jingle bells. Let me hear you say ho, ho, ho. It is Christmas in October here at the Scotiabank Cinema. It was funny, this morning I actually saw little particles of white snow falling for about 3 minutes. Anyone else see snow today for like 3 minutes? It's perfect, and we have a Christmas-themed horror night, so it's going to be a lot of fun. My name is Adam Lopez. I'm the festival director and founder of Toronto After Dark, and it's my great honor to welcome you here to the Toronto theatrical premiere of A Christmas Horror Story. Give it up. A couple of quick thank yous before we get into our screens tonight. Please give it up for our main sponsors, Anchor Bay Entertainment, Raven Banner, Space, and our wonderful host here, Cineplex, and all the hard-working volunteers and staff at the festival. Make this event happen. We're celebrating our 10th year this year, and thank you all so much for coming with us on this wild journey over the last years. One of the other things we've been doing for 10 years is short films. So is anyone enjoying some of the shorts at Toronto After Dark? Let me tell you a little bit quickly about that. We play Canadian shorts in front of all our feature films, regardless of the country. We have been supporting Canadian cinema since the very beginning of Toronto After Dark. So give it up for all the Canadian filmmakers and tonight's film, which is Canadian. And I'm very proud to say, after 10 years, we are being recognized this year for the very first time by a wonderful group that nurtures Canadian talent, and they are, of course, Telefilm Canada. Give it up for Telefilm Canada, supporting great Canadian content, supporting films with zombie elves in them. That is my kind of government organization. And supporting our Canadian short film program, Canada After Dark. So we're really proud to have Telefilm Canada on board. And for our short film tonight, it's a bit of a long one to say. It is the International Brotherhood of Pancakes, and give it up for the filmmaker to introduce his short, Eric McKenzie. Come on, Eric.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to Toronto.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for coming out. I think we're all really excited to see Santa versus Krampus. Woo! Epic battle.
I'd say you have someone with you from the team.
Yes, this is Tanara. This is my girlfriend / art director on the film. Give it up for her. She made about 200 pancakes for this film. I hope this film, it's very short, but we hope it changes your opinion. You may never look at pancakes the same again. Hopefully it creeps you out and makes you laugh.
Cheers.
Cool. Thanks, Adam.
Brother Pancakes. We want to get into tonight's feature. So all I would say, from my perspective, is I love Christmas and I love horror movies, and there's just not enough horror movies set at Christmas. So I was just so delighted when we got a chance to pre-screen this, and it is just one of the best looking, most entertaining, most awesome Canadian horror film, and definitely Canadian Christmas horror film. And here to introduce A Christmas Horror Story is Santa himself. Please give it up for George Booza, Santa from the movie.
George. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoy this film as much as we enjoyed making it. I hope you all get scared out of your seats and leave something behind for the ushers to clean up. Thank you very much. This is the first screening in Toronto for A Christmas Horror Story. All the best. Ho, 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 and a Merry Christmas.
Yes, we will. We're going to have a big cast and crew Q&A after the screening, so stick around for that. Cheers, George. Thank you.
Cheers.
I'm coming, Santa.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, everybody. Almost all local. It's William Shatner doesn't live here, but everyone else was pretty much local. Yeah, so I'm going to.
You want to bring some of the?
Yeah, in fact, I'm not even sure how many people are here. Bless you. So we got a lot of cast and crew here. So it's probably too many for me to announce each of them. So I'm going to start by asking some of the crew to come down. I'm not entirely sure everyone who's here, but anyone other than cast, please come on down now. And I'll say who you are as you're coming down.
Let's give it up for the fantastic crew.
That means writers too. Grant, who directed two of the segments. Pascal, who wrote one of the segments. my mom just said was her favorite, which was the family with the changeling.
Fantastic.
Where's Mark?
Section that.
Yeah, so Grant directed that one, the Changeling story and the Krampus story. Where's Mark Smith? Right here.
We have Mark.
And Mark, who produced the film with me, and was responsible for much of the movie. Okay, I thought that's it for, okay, great.
Okay,
wait a minute, where's James Key?
He's hiding.
James, come on.
Come on down, James. And do you want to say what James is
Making
called?
us all wait for you, James.
The writer of the Krampus segment. Give it up for James.
So we have various of the cast here. So, I'm sorry, who?
Brenda.
I thought Brenda was here too. Brenda, where are you?
Do we have a Brenda in the house?
Hey, come on, get up there.
And,
Move it, Brenda, come on, let's
and do
go.
you want to say what Brenda?
So, Brenda did costumes.
Costumes,
Which
Brenda.
Good job on this movie.
Fantastic.
Hey, Brenda. Yeah, so Brenda did all the costuming on it. Not that much on Krampus, but it was very hard to work that one
Tricia
out.
Nicholson, who did Krampus, and Emily McHugh are here in the audience, and they're amazing costumers who built Krampus.
Give it up for Trish and Emily who worked on Krampus.
Okay, so now the cast, we've got some of the cast members here. So George and Rob, hang on, but everyone else come on down. So I know that I saw Shannon's here, Zoe's here. Is Alex here? Come on.
Let's give it up
And
for the
then
cast.
we got Ken and Joe.
That's Christmas Horror Story. We're going to have a full stage.
As you will see, there were no special effects in the movie at all. It's our zombie elves are legit.
Fantastic.
Okay, and then Rob, can you come on down? The real proof that there were no visual effects in the movie. Whereas
Let's
Rob,
do it.
who played Krampus,
Do we have Krampus himself? Give it up. Give it up.
since I want to speed this up, while Rob's coming down, George, can you start down as well?
We have George, Santa himself.
All right, so Rob was Krampus, as you can tell. Oh, and Paul Rapowski, you're here hiding somewhere. Please come on down as well. Paul was our stunt coordinator. He's
Stunt coordinator.
He discovered Krampus. Also executive producer of Lost Room, for anybody who's a fan of that show. And where is George? And Santa Claus. Santa. Paul was also Santa Claus sometimes. And Paul choreographed all the fighting that you saw.
I don't know if we can get this light a bit bigger or not on stage. I want to make sure that everyone's
No, everybody
not on the
come on
stage.
closer.
Can we all bunch up a little bit? Thanks, guys. Make sure that you're in the light.
Okay, so
Yeah, well, I'll just start with a couple because I'm sure the audience has got questions. Guys, start thinking about them right now. I guess one of the most obvious questions to ask is where did the inspiration come for a Christmas Horror Story shot here in Ontario? Do you want to talk about that?
very briefly, we were involved with the remake of Black Christmas, which was not quite as good as the original. And it was a little bit of a disappointment to us. So ever since then, we always wanted to make a Christmas movie that really worked. And just a year and a half ago, winter was coming, and we thought, well, let's just make a Christmas horror movie. It's you can't really write a feature-length script in just 6 weeks and then shoot it. But we knew we could fashion together 4 or 5 different stories quickly because we could have 4 or 5 different writers and do it 4 times as fast. So that's how the idea of doing it as an anthology came about. And then we just thought we wanted to make it feel like a real movie, so that's why we wove all the stories together.
And I guess talk about this fantastic cast and creative team that you assembled. Do you want to talk about what that process was like?
Sure. Okay. Well, we should start with the writing of it because that's really where it all began. So again, we knew we couldn't quickly do a whole feature script, so we got a bunch of different writers we've worked with, including James and Pascal, and a few others to pitch us ideas for short horror scripts, and they all came up with different ideas. And James was the one that said you can't really do a Christmas horror movie without a Krampus. And so I quickly
Great
went
idea.
to Wikipedia and found out what Krampus was, and turns out he was right. So, he didn't tell us everybody else was going to make a Krampus movie as well. So.
Yeah, you've been riding the Krampus wave.
We were the first, but so there's that small legendary movie coming out soon, and then Kevin Smith is doing one as well. So, but that's how it started. It was just different ideas, and the one concept we had was we wanted to have each of the shorts be a different kind of horror. So a creature horror, a creepy kid horror, a ghost story. So that's really how we did that.
And tell us about the casting, because obviously you've got this fantastic cast that you put
We
together.
were so lucky. I mean, right from the beginning, I mean, George was always going to be Santa Claus. There was never any doubt about that.
I don't know where you got that idea from.
And our distributor wanted us to get somebody who is a big American star, a bigger name for that. And we said, but there's nobody who could possibly do the role as well. But we went through the motions with them of coming up with names, and they ultimately agreed with us after they saw George that he had to be Santa Claus. So George was easy. Everybody else was really kind of hard. Not a lot of Kens and Joes around, first of all. And they were great and did a lot of double duty. Joe in particular was Jingles, but was also our changeling.
Cool.
So changeling as well. And Ken, of course, was the foul-mouthed Shiny. So it was actually easy to find little people who swear. Turns out they swear a lot. Who knew? And it was, as I said earlier, it was Paul who brought Rob to our attention, who is a force of nature. And I mean, we're lucky that he lives in Toronto, but he could have lived anywhere in the world, and we would have had to import him. So that was it. And then for the rest of the cast, we just got really, really lucky. Like with our young cast that you see over there, they were all fantastic. All stars in the making for sure. They're going to go on.
I noticed they've got a lot of Twitter followers here. So thanks for all the retweets.
Yeah, they're great. And it was the usual process. It was like 5 movies, not 1 movie. It took a long time. Drove our casting directors crazy.
Let's open it up to the floor. We've got some questions here from the audience. Do you want to start off over here?
I was wondering about the locations. I thought I recognized Glendon College, but what were you using?
I'm going to pass this on to Mark.
To the side of the stage.
Glendon College, was that the observatory? No, that wasn't. No, it wasn't.
No
Glendon College. Yeah.
What did you use?
Everything nearby. We went to the observatory. We had this great set actually, which was the X set of the TV show Cracked. Believe it or not, that we redressed and served double duty in a number of stories.
It was the North Pole mostly.
Yeah, North Pole, and for the basement as well, for the most part.
I saw another question over there, on the right. You first, and then we'll do you.
Cool. A question for the costume designers. That was one of the most badass Santas I've ever seen.
Yeah, let's talk about the badass Santa costume design.
Thank you. And another special shout out to Adam Smith, who did all the leather work for him. Yeah, I had a fantastic team.
Best Santa suit I ever wore.
Sorry, you have a question over there?
Yeah, but it's
Another locations question.
sorry, just to finish on, the inspiration for Santa Claus is, hopefully you got, was a Viking, so it was a Nordic Santa Claus.
Another location question. Do you guys shoot mostly in Toronto or around lots of places in Ontario?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the different locations in Ontario?
Yeah, I'm just moved here a year ago, so I'm not sure where we shot, but it was all bad guy to hand the mic to. But yeah, the forest was to the north, and
The guy drives me around in a van. I don't know.
we get on a bus, they take us to a place, we look at it, if it looks right. So we were out in the woods a lot. There was the observatory, as Mark said, and most of it was just down in the crack set up here. That's where a lot of it was shot. And,
Where was the church? Was somewhere to the north then?
and it's in the woods somewhere. It was all close by. That's why there was so much snow. This is when we had all that snow 2 years ago.
yeah, I mean that's what was amazing was that we started shooting I think in February, late February, and we had all that snow. It was all real snow. There was no fake snow, and we were crossing our fingers because spring was obviously coming, but we lucked out and ended up all natural snow for the whole film, which was great.
We got some more from the audience. Over there.
Santa, what was it like beating up zombie elves?
Yeah, Santa, what was it like to do some ultra violence to your house?
That was some of the best fun I've ever had. What did I say? Bring on some more elves.
Actually, while we're on the subject, just if you can pass it down to the cast, what was some of the younger members as well? What was it like shooting some of those very intense scenes that you guys had, even some quite scary scenes you had to shoot?
It's fun. It's so fun. Yeah, doing scary stuff is the best. 'Cause I know, especially like dark stuff, because I think we all have like that darkness within us that we always suppress, obviously, to be functioning members of society. But it's fun to let it out. It's great. I don't know if you guys agree.
Yeah, it's always fun. I mean, look, it's all scary and all on screen, but then at the end of the day, we're just kind of laughing. You know, it's great. As soon as you're done the take, you're just laughing about it and stuff. It's fun. It's not as dark and as intense on set, but it turns out great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of giggling in the scenes with the cast. Zoe jumped a couple times at her own scares, which I found hilarious. It was kind of confusing for me sometimes. Well, it was a fun adventure because we were actually shooting the secondhand footage on the camera at the same time, and we were trying to light the scene at the same time. So we were acting, but also trying to have the camera ready and light the scene with our torches because we weren't using a lot of, second source lighting. But yeah, we had a great time, great cast. Amy couldn't be here, unfortunately. She's shooting in New York. But yeah, it was the best. It was just a whole hoot and a lot of fun.
I think we should. And I was going to say, Rob, tell us about what it was like to play Krampus. Come on, it must have been a great role.
Ask me that question again.
What was it like playing Krampus? What was especially some of those fight scenes?
It was the coldest thing I've ever done in my life. I just come back from Florida in between 4 and 5% body fat, and all my scenes were shot outside in minus 20 to 25. Yes, I felt like a little schoolgirl wearing that dress afterwards. It was very, very cold. The most memorable moment outside of the Santa fight is when I had the gasoline thrown on me at 4 o'clock in the morning at minus 25 in my man dress, and I hear Steve go, "Let's throw water on Krampus." Guess who's on my shit list still? But the fight scene was amazing. George did a lot of the fighting, and then some of the other stuff Paul stepped in for and did. But it was incredible. The movie turned out way better than I expected it to.
Can we just ask the elves what it was like to do their intense scenes?
What can I say? It was great. It was awesome. I got to swear on film. That was fun. Got to chop my hand off. That was really cool. 2 fingers dangling off like that. Got to jump on the back of Santa a few times. So life is good. It was a great experience. How about you, Joe?
Oh, it was fantastic. I especially love prosthetics. So doing the troll was just incredible. The changeling. It was like a 6-hour process. Prosthetics, makeup people were just intense and fantastic, and I was relaxing in the chair, having a great time. It was really good. And then, as well, when my back of my head got chopped off, that was fun. I like dying on camera. That's always a blast. So yeah, overall, totally cool.
Wow. So wait a minute. So I always thought actors didn't like spending 6 hours in makeup.
No, honestly.
He complains about it all the time. All right, good to know. So it's not real. It's actually fun. Okay.
We've actually got another screening coming up pretty soon, so we've got time for one more question from the audience. Make it a good one. You got one? Go for it.
Yes. As for the writers and the director, with multiple different segments and multiple writers, was there any sort of challenge or creative differences in trying to maintain a total consistency between all of them, or was it a very harmonious experience, combining all these stories and writing your own tale with it?
I think the credit goes to Steve and Mark and Brian Morey at Cop Art, because they were really the guys who would take our stories and see how they would connect, and finding threads like for example, the cop in their segment. Originally, I hadn't written that, but then Brian, or was it Mark and Steve, who thought, well, we could do this, and it gives him kind of a backstory. And so really a lot of that stuff is to them, and it was really great to see it come together where in ways I didn't expect, and I don't know if James expected how, oh wow, cool, how our story connects with that story, and it was a lot of fun to see it come together, and tonally it was great. I didn't have to change the tone of mine too much, I don't think he did either, and so credit goes to Grant and these guys to sort of figure out how the tone would go from segment to segment in the end. It came together really great, yeah.
And maybe Mark can also mention about that ending, that I believe came pretty late in the process. Like the sort of
yeah. So I was just going to mention though about tone. That was I think the most difficult part, and James was a bit of a casualty. James' script was like, it was very, very funny, but it was interesting putting it together and editing. We realized that because we made the decision to make it a whole movie instead of segments, that the scenes started to fight each other a little bit. So we actually had to pull some comedy that was really great out of the Krampus story, which was a bummer. But it was an interesting process in editing. That tone was very much had to start leading the way as the film progressed. Anyway, sorry, the question about the ending.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe the ending where you have the sort of twist where Santa is revealed to be, a mole Santa,
Yes.
disgruntled.
Well, I mean, initially Santa was the real Santa, and we tried different things, and at one point the story actually went backwards, and at the end we came up with that idea as a way to sort of tie it all back into Bailey Downs, and then once we sort of have that and locked into that, it all kind of, with Shatner, of course.
That's cool. Yeah. And where can fans find the movie now? Where is it? It's being released?
It is being released in Canada on October 27th, day and date theaters and iTunes and Hulu and all that kind of stuff. So about a month from now, 2 weeks from now.
If you enjoyed, give it up. Give a big cheer for Christmas Horror Story. You guys are coming to the pub, right? Yep. You can meet some of the filmmakers at the pub as well. Cheers. Take care.